So now, it was shortly after.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the March 10th, 2021 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. Would you please join me in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Jacks,
Here.
Commissioner Barlow,
Here.
Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Hassett,
Here.
Commissioner Meal, Commissioner Martin, here. Commissioner Abbott,
Here.
Commissioner Alexander, here. Chairman Morse, and Commissioner Gillette. Here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Automated announcement message, please.
Anyone who has not signed in, please do so at the table located in the lobby. Should anyone wish to speak, please complete a request to speak form, which is also located on the lobby table next to the sign-in sheet. A request to speak form must be completed for each item you would like to speak on. Please note, there are stairs on the right, left, and center aisles, and we ask that you use caution when using the stairs. There is also a ramp located to the audience's left. If anyone has written comments, exhibits, petitions, photos, or letters they intend to present at today's meeting, have 17 copies and give them to a staff member at the back of the auditorium. Staff member, please hold up your hand for the audience. If you do not have 17 copies, you may use the overhead camera to present your documents. Please place your documents on the podium and line it up with the arrows indicated. If you want your documentation to go on record, you must hand them to the clerk after your presentation with the agenda item number clearly marked on the documentation. Members of the public cannot speak to staff members that are seated at the tables with microphones during the meeting. If you have questions, please see the staff member located in the back of the auditorium. All speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to make their presentation statements. Everyone, please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate during the meeting. If you must take a call, please leave the meeting area and go outside to have your conversation. We also ask the audience to refrain from talking with one another during the presentations and discussions. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. Everyone attending the meeting is asked to remember that the administrative building and campus are tobacco-free areas, which means no smoking is allowed from curb to curb. No food or drinks are allowed in the auditorium except for bottled water. If there are any items remaining on the agenda, the Commission will break for lunch for 1 hour per the Chairman's discretion.
The items with a recommendation made by the Commission will be heard by the Board of Supervisors on Monday, April 5th, 2021 at 9:30 a.m. in this same location, with the exception of any continued items. Moving to item number 5, need a motion to approve the meeting minutes from February 10th, 2021.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Commissioner Gillette, a second. Second by Commissioner Meal. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Moving on to item 1A.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Item 1A is an evaluation of a request for an amendment the Mojave County General Plan from a GC General Commercial Land Use Designation to an MR Medium Density Residential Land Use Designation, and an amendment to the Virgin River Communities Area Plan from a Commercial Land Use Designation to a Medium Density Residential Land Use Designation for Assessor's Parcel Number 402-66100 in the Littlefield vicinity, Mojave County, Arizona. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
The applicant is available by phone should the commission have any questions. Do we have anyone else wishing to speak on item 1A? Do any of our commissioners have questions or comments at this time for item 1A? Hearing none, Chair will now call for a motion for item 1A.
I'll make a motion to approve item 1A according to staff recommendation.
Got a motion by Commissioner Alexander and a second by Commissioner Martin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 1B.
Item 1B is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of Assessor's Parcel Number 402-66100 from an RE 10A Residential Recreation with a 10-acre minimum lot size zone to an RE 2A Residential Recreation with a 2-acre minimum lot size zone to allow for a minor land division in the Littlefield vicinity, Mojave County, Arizona. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Once again, the applicant is available by phone should the commissioners have any questions. Do we have anyone else wishing to speak on item 1B? Moving over to commissioners, do we have any commissioners that have any questions or comments on item 1B? Looking for a motion on item 1B.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Martin, a second by Commissioner Abbott. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 2A.
Item 2A is an evaluation of a request for an amendment to the Mojave County General Plan from an LR Low Density Residential Land Use Designation and a CG General Commercial Land Use Designation to an MR Medium Density Residential Land Use Designation, and an amendment to the South Mojave Valley Area Plan from a General Commercial Land Use Designation to a single-family residential land use designation for assessor parcel numbers 22802-100 and 22802-101, and a portion of assessor's parcel number 22802-102 in the Fort Mojave vicinity. We have received, as of this morning, one letter of opposition. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Is the applicant present? Understanding Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark, you care to make a statement at this time?
I'm just here to present myself in case anybody has any questions on the project.
Okay, thank you. We have anyone else wishing to speak on item 2A? I do have one slip here from Mr. Amin Sanj.
Good morning. I'm in Stanga, 4321 South Cavalry Road, and since we have all the zoning changes We have 18-wheelers going down Cavalry Road. We have all sorts of traffic, increasing traffic, and who's going to pave our road? When they start building on Andrews, the traffic even increases even more. We live on a dirt road. We can't handle the dirt and everything. The county hasn't done anything about dust control. Oh, I mean, I'm cleaning my house every 2 days. I have almost a quarter inch of dust every 2 days in the house. That's getting ridiculous with the traffic. And the other thing is, there wasn't even adequate signages out on the parcels what are supposed to be changed. I found one sign on 300 yards. And I found it by just looking over because someone dumped something next to the sign. So I had 2 days to get the letter of opposition done. I think that's not fair to the residents of LeClaire Acre. So we oppose the zoning change and everything what comes with it, unless the one who wants the zoning change is going to pave our road free of no cost to us.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes. Sir, we have a question for you.
Yes.
I have worked in that area forever. I can't place it. Is it on the west side of the
Andrews.
or the east side?
Andrews is on the west side of 95, on the south side of Camp Mojave.
Other questions? Yes, Mr. Commissioner Martiner?
I clarify your option. You prefer current zoning of commercial, manufacturing, open lot storage over?
As far as I know, there never was a zoning change.
No, there's not a zoning change, but you prefer the current zoning situation over what is proposed.
Yes. Right now, on Cavalry Road, we have 2 properties. They have more than enough outside storage, open lot storage, and the county isn't doing anything about it. There's 3 acres outside, open lot storage on Cavalry Road, and it's nothing been done in 10 years. And I complained to the county more than once. And that is on record too. We don't need open lot storage or anything. Look at Felony Flats on Camp Mojave, south side of Camp Mojave and east side of Andrews. That's a complete junkyard. And nobody has done anything about it. People are moving their fifth wheels in, they live in fifth wheels. It looks like we're living in dirt.
That's my question. You prefer it to remain commercial zoning over residential?
No, commercial.
Mr. Chairman,
No residential.
to the speaker, that to the point of Commissioner Martin, your complaints, correct me if I'm wrong, your complaints are of that zoning. The zoning request that would change would alleviate that. Your original complaint was the high traffic on your road,
Yes.
correct?
When they start building there, we get the trucks going up and down the road. We have had one neighbor, they started grading their road, and we had trucks, 18-wheelers going up and down the road.
Cavalry Road, correct?
Yes, Cavalry Road.
And correct me if I'm wrong, also, maybe someone from the staff isn't Andrews already paved?
Yes, Andrews is already paved. But since they changed the highway with no turn lanes or anything, everybody who's coming from Bullhead comes down Valencia, takes Cavalry Road, and goes down to Aztec. All the traffic is going down our road.
So is it safe to say that you're opposing the zoning change to avoid construction?
Exactly.
Because if you leave the zoning currently the way it is, it ties into your secondary complaint of how messy everything is on Cavalry Road.
Yeah, it's a total mess there. I mean, I don't know if you have driven Cavalry Road.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you know how that road looks like. I mean, the county is grading it, what is worthless, then after 2 days, it's a speed track. You know, and 18-wheelers, I stopped one guy from a rental place, equipment rental place, and his answer was, well, it's a dirt road, I do what I want to do. That's ridiculous.
I would have a question for Mr. Clark. I mean, wouldn't it be safe to say that when construction does begin, you probably wouldn't be anywhere near Cavalry Road? You'd be coming off of Aztec to Andrews? Or Gemini?
Yes, we would be coming off of most likely Camp Mojave or Aztec. Camp Mojave would probably be the choice because it's got less traffic. So we'd most likely be coming off of Camp Mojave. And we will have to do a traffic study as part of our development of the project. The project is going to be a very nice project. It's going to have 3 community centers for the people in that project. It's going to have a homeowners association, which will make sure that the project stays in good shape for the future as it builds out. It will be built in phases. Right now, the plan is to build it in approximately 6 phases. We're still working on some of the drainage issues and stuff with the development, but the plan is for 6 phases. We're working on the grading and drainage plans right now. You've seen a copy of the layout in the packet provided to you. And all of the traffic, we shouldn't really see any traffic from this development going north down Infantry or Cavalry. From there, it's such a short hop to the highway that either Camp Mojave or Aztec would be the road of choice, or you could use Gemini, one of the side streets there. Cavalry should not even really work into the calculation, except on a very, very rare occasion.
So it sounds like to me that the project in question would be improving the general area and improving eventually traffic flow and the overall build out. To your point, sir, about the complaint, I would almost recommend you speak to the Mojave County Sheriff's Department if it's a traffic control issue in that area. No, I'm being serious. If
I understand you, but the Sheriff's Department, they only have 2 deputies of, 100 square miles. You know how thin they're spread.
Yeah, this development will take that 90 acres and basically it'll all be developed. You won't have that dirt blowing around down there. So that should actually cut down on some of that. And it'll bring some moderate income housing availability into that area, which we desperately need. I'm a Bullhead City Councilman, and we're always looking for economical housing options for our residents. So that'd be a great place for that.
Thank you both. No further questions for me.
Yes, Commissioner Martin?
Here.
For you.
Okay.
What do you foresee incorporating in your plans to improve the road maintenance situation?
Well, as far as Cavalry Road, that's a county road, so there's really nothing we would be doing there. But Camp Mojave, which is a bordering street to our street, we will be paving part of Camp Mojave to help that out as part of our requirements for the development. And I've talked to staff about how best maybe to try and work that out to pave parts of Camp Mojave.
Thank you.
Chairman.
Yes, Commissioner Gillette?
Mr. Clark, I still have a question for you.
Sorry about
so
that.
you're going to pave part of the road. Who will maintain that?
That would be a county road.
And so the county would then be maintaining it.
After it's built, yes. And the county would approve the construction of that road as well, just as they do for all roads within the county.
Thank you.
Commissioner Meal?
Question on who would it be county that actually did the road itself as far as the asphalt or concrete or whatever they use?
No, the developer will be doing the road improvements by the development. And then it would be deeded over to the county for the county then to maintain it going forward into the future. But we would be building that road.
Would the road include curbs and gutters and the build out of the land? Is there going to be sewer or tanks?
No, it will be all sewered. The Fort Mojave Indian Tribe has a sewer line running down Andrews, and we will be connecting into them. We've already spoken with the tribe about how we were going to do that, and we've got a will serve letter from the tribe that they will serve it. We've also got a will serve letter from EPCOR, who will be the water provider, and MEC will be the electric provider out there. So we'll have full utilities in the development.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Any other questions, commissioners? No. Anyone wishing to speak on item 2A? Anybody else? And commissioners, any last comments or questions? Looking for a motion for item 2A.
Motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Martin, and second by Commissioner Haslett. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 2B.
Item number 2B is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessors parcel numbers 22802, 100, 22802, 101, and 22802, 102 from an AR agricultural residential zone, a C2 general commercial zone, and a C2H highway commercial zone to an SDR special development residential zone and a CMO commercial manufacturing open lot storage zone to allow for a manufactured home subdivision and an open lot storage facility in the Fort Mojave vicinity. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions. The previously mentioned letter of opposition still applies to this item.
And Mr. Clark is available for questions. Mr. Clark, any comments?
I would just like to mention, since the gentleman had spoke about open lot storage on the last item, this open lot storage is going to be primarily for the people that live within this development so that they could store their boats or RVs or whatever kinds of toys that they may have. It will also be open to the public. It will be fenced, and it will be gated so that people can get in there off hours, but it will be manned by an employee as well. So this isn't going to be just an open bare lot. We will have an 8-foot high fence around this open lot storage to protect the items that are inside from damage or theft. And so it will be a secured storage area, not just an open bare lot. We will be putting gravel down to keep all the dust and everything down in this area. So it's not just going to be a bare piece of land. It will be within the development.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Clark? Commissioner Meal?
Has there been any consideration along Highway 95 stoplight?
Well, there's a stoplight at Camp Mojave and a stoplight at Aztec, so we will be doing a traffic study because that's a requirement of the development. So until we finish the traffic study, I don't have any idea whether any new traffic lights would be allowed. I do know that when the Human Being and the Goodwill store went in on Highway 95, they tried to get an additional traffic light there, but ADOT would not allow it because of the other two lots being too close in the vicinity, the one on Camp Mojave and the one on Aztec.
Just for sake of conversation, meeting with ADOT, you may want to their attention at increase in traffic on 90.
Yes, and that's why we would love to see that Highway 95 Vanderslice bypass go in.
That's been talked about, as you well know.
Yes, I know, unfortunately.
Any other questions for?
I have a question for Mark. Specifically, as a developer, can you address the gentleman's concern? Do you see this helping him with the dust problem, or will it create more dust?
Well, I don't see this creating any more traffic or any more dust on his road. I can't say that it will eliminate any of the dust on his road because I'm not sure why people would even be really using that stretch of road to access that back part, because you've got the stoplight on Camp Mojave there, and there's really not a whole lot back there behind us. As he said, Felony Flats is back there, and then you've got the fire station owns property back there, and then you've got Valencia Storage there. So there's some pretty big businesses that are right across the street from our development. So I'm not sure why there's a lot of commercial traffic there. I mean, usually when I'm through there, I see maybe one car on Andrews, which is the main street that would be to the east of the development. To the west of the development is the Fort Mojave tribal land, so nothing's going to be going on there. And then you've got Camp Mojave on the north, which you'll have whatever little traffic is there now, plus the traffic from our development up to the highway. And then on Aztec, you'll have traffic from our development as well, added to what traffic is there. And again, the traffic study will show the counts and what kind of improvements would need to be made for those areas. But I would see, if anything, that Camp Mojave and Aztec may be affected, but I wouldn't see Cavalry or any of those infantry or any of those streets to the north really being affected at all by this development.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, Commissioner Meal?
Then you brought about the Calvary. What's going to be your western?
Well, it'll be within our development because, as I said, west of us is the Fort Mojave Tribal Reservation land. So what'll happen is it'll be an interior street to the development will be the far western street of the development.
That it would not include the Calvary?
No, Cavalry is actually on the far east end of the development, not the west end. Yeah, Cavalry actually lines up with Andrews, and I don't know how that happened that one's Andrews and one's Cavalry, but many, many years ago that happened. So they're really one and the same street. And Andrews is paved all the way.
Thank you. Any other questions? No. Thank you, Mr. Clark.
Mhm.
We had Mr. Amin Strange. I believe he left us. Oh, he has, okay. Anyone else wishing to speak on item 2B? Okay. Hearing none, looking for a motion for item 2B.
Make a motion to approve item 2B.
Got a motion by Commissioner Hassett
I'll second the motion.
and a second by Commissioner Alexander. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3B, or I'm sorry, item 3A has been postponed to April 14th, 2021, Planning and Zoning Commission. So we have no item 3. So other matters, we have item 4, ADOT projects on ADOT projects on the Arizona Strip.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, it was asked at the previous meeting if we could look into any ADOT projects along the I-15 corridor there in the Strip vicinity. We contacted ADOT, and they are unaware of any projects that are proposed or going on in that vicinity.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions by commissioners? Okay. Item 5, staff report on splitting properties.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, Commissioner Gillette brought up at our last meeting about legal access for parcels that are split. We have currently set up a meeting with the assessor's office for later this month We'll be sitting down with them, and we'll be able to have more to report in our April meeting, if you allow us to report then.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions, commissioners? Okay, item 6, monthly reports.
You should have received the monthly reports in your packets. If you have any questions, we have to answer any questions for you as well.
All right, any questions for the staff on monthly report? No. Item 7, commissioners' comments limited to announcements, availability, and attendance at conferences and seminars, requests for agenda items for future meetings, and requests for reports from the staff. Any commissioner comment? Item 8, call to the public. Do we have anyone wishing to speak to the commissioners? Seeing none, hearing none, move for a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Abbott, second by Commissioner Martin. We are adjourned.